This was the first BRICS Plus Digital Competition Forum, where we brought together competition authorities not only from the BRICS jurisdictions, but also from countries that have either submitted an application to become part of the bloc or have an intention to do so in the future.
O evento BRICS Plus é extremamente importante porque, ao discutir mercados digitais, é importante ter convergência internacional. Então, eventos como esse ajudam as autoridades, a sociedade civil, os acadêmicos a alinharem melhor as definições, as estratégias, os padrões legais e os remédios que eventualmente serão aplicados.
This conference is very important in the point of view of all the national antitrust authorities in order to reflect, to agree on common frameworks to deal with the digital market dynamics.
É um evento de extrema importância para os países que compõem o BRICS, especialmente porque são países que têm muitas coisas em comum, são países em desenvolvimento e esse fórum junta não só esses países, mas com um tema de extrema importância que é a economia digital.
And we also wanted to be inclusive, so we invited not only competition authorities, but also academics and civil society organizations that are actively working in this field. The focus of the meeting was on digital markets and digital ecosystems. We had in the first day a presentation of an ongoing draft report by the BRICS competition authorities about digital markets. In the second part of the day, we had the presentation of the Eco-Antitrust project, which tries to address the issues of digital ecosystem, drawing some parallels between biology and so the regulation of biological ecosystems and what should be done in the area of digital ecosystems.
One of the aspects that was particularly important in this event was the launching of a new report which compares all the terminology, market definitions, and precedents from China, Russia, Brazil, India, and South Africa. This is quite important so we can better understand what the common ground is and what our differences are.
It's a great example of cooperation between researchers and policymakers, as well as an example of international cooperation between BRICS countries.
The focus of the discussion of the meeting was basically on the digital ecosystem. So how it is going to change the whole landscape that has been discussed extensively during the meeting.
These are markets that are evolving, and these are markets that play a very important role in all economies, including in BRICS countries.
I'm lucky to participate in this research project since 2018. We started investigating challenges to competition policy in digital area. And the first event organized by BRICS Digital Research Group was in 2018. And we really see the results of this cooperation. We show it in our paper, in which we discover approaches to analysis of platforms in different BRICS countries.
Esse tema tem mudado o mundo, está presente na maioria das discussões concorrenciais e ele traz para o direito concorrencial uma série de desafios, desafios que a gente está vivenciando agora em relação às investigações relacionadas às empresas de tecnologia, bem como as fusões e aquisições que tratam dos negócios relativos a grandes empresas de tecnologia, comprando, por exemplo, pequenas empresas, se isso é killer acquisition, não é? A velocidade e o dinamismo também da economia digital tem trazido desafios para o mundo do direito antitruste.
Digital markets became now a new norm that we need to learn and accept and see how competition agencies could enhance competition without affecting negatively innovation, but on the contrary, to enhance innovation, enhance competition for the better of our consumers and economies in the BRICS Plus countries.
É um evento muito importante para promover cooperação entre as autoridades dos países BRICS e certamente vai trazer grandes desenvolvimentos para a pesquisa acadêmica em temas que se encontram aí no topo da discussão no cenário internacional.
This meeting is devoted to the discussion on the draft report on competition issues in digital markets of BRICS countries. It's new, it's very interesting, it's very important topic of discussion for all competition authorities, not only in BRICS countries but throughout the world, because these markets are new, these markets are very fast, these markets are international and global by its nature, its fundamental principles. And we have a great experience in competition issues on digital markets. We exchange information between our BRICS countries with our partners in competition law enforcement.
We see that after such event, competition authorities really start to apply new researches, and this contributes to the quality of their decision.
I think that we can benefit from sharing our experiences in this topic, and I think that we have a lot of common, and the main challenges that we are facing have some specific and regional features.
In this collaboration, actually, different experiences from different jurisdictions helps in developing a systematic and unified understanding of competition issues arising in digital markets.
In the second day, we continued discussions and had a case study where we simulated a merger involving several markets across multiple jurisdictions and creating an ecosystemic effects. And we showed some of the promises and challenges in cooperation between all these authorities. And then at the end of the day, we had a book launch that is a book specifically focused on digital ecosystem from a Brazilian perspective. Both days were great. It was great to share a lot of ideas about these new approaches and to get feedback from a variety of stakeholders.
É por meio desse tipo de cooperação próxima entre todos esses entes que o direito antitrust vai conseguir evoluir e evoluir de maneira convergente, organizada e produtiva.
It means that we should use the very accurate and balanced approach to digital markets in our enforcement and in our legal development in our countries.
So the meeting allows us to identify common areas of interests and focus, which then enables us to cooperate in addressing competition distortions in those areas of common interest.
It's very important from competition agencies from all over the world, and BRICS in special, to have a common understanding of precedents and the terminology that they have. That's not a problem that our competition agencies consider different standards because they have different views on the market, different agendas sometimes, but we need to understand these differences and try to look for as much common ground as possible.
It's very important, therefore, for us as BRICS members to come together and identify potential issues that may arise in these markets, and also try and see if there are any common strategies that can be pursued to address the challenges that we would have identified. So it makes sense for us to cooperate and take more or less the same approach, which would eventually assist in coming up with measures that eventually address competition distortions in all BRICS countries.
Developing this common ground, developing this common terminology will help us to better understand the market as a whole, and will help us to comply and cooperate with companies, especially the ones that work worldwide.
I believe that this is going to be very beneficial for investigating all these cases by all the BRICS member countries, by the competition authorities working in these countries, as well as by the other participants in the meeting.
I really expect from this meeting to build a common consensus on how to deal with these common issues that all competition authorities from all around the world face in the same way at the same moment. So I'm really grateful to be here in Rio de Janeiro, and I hope to meet again and keep building these ties between our countries.
Esse fórum vem justamente para discutir tudo isso, tentar jogar um pouquinho de luz nas análises, nas discussões, no que tem de literatura, no que as autoridades concorrenciais têm feito aí ao redor do mundo, né? E é muito importante que isso seja discutido por este grupo de países que tem, evidentemente, uma importância singular aí no direito concorrencial por conta dos seus tamanhos, por conta da importância econômica, do tamanho do mercado consumidor.
So meetings of this nature allow us to come and reinforce the need to come together as BRICS members and coordinate our approach to measures of this nature. Where, for example, remedies, given the similarities in our economies, even the remedies that are likely to come out, or rather the competition distortions that are likely to come out, they are likely to be similar.
So I hope that we will have more of this kind of events, and we'll have soon the opportunity to host the second BRICS Digital Competition Forum.